G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the game between Geelong and St Kilda, and this one was at Marvel Stadium, and it was the Saints getting the job done by 7 points. What an upset it was, and it was very upsetting, I must say. Although I didn't get to watch the game live necessarily, it was a real arm wrestle. It was It wasn't out of the realm of possibilities, the result in itself, but the Saints at Marvel's just a different beast, and we don't really have the answers for getting over the line against them. Albeit, I think, some players that we would have liked to have had fit and available probably weren't so. I'm sure the Saints would say the same thing about their forward line, which functioned really well. With all the good work that they were doing, I suppose, in the midfield and, up the field. It's 4 in a row against the Saints, or the last 4 games at Marvel that defeated us. We haven't defeated St Kilda at Marvel since 2021, and we only won that because Max King had the yips. I think he kicked 1 goal 5. And then, that's... and we kicked accurately, made the most fair chances, won by 3 goals in the end. But the Saints definitely played the better footy throughout the night, and we won just purely on accuracy. So, don't know what it is with matching up against these guys. It seems to be common players seem to play really well, and they match up really well. Their system and process seems to somehow get us. But I'd have to say every team has bogey teams, and St Kilda seem to be one of those at the moment. Even when we defeated them last year, it was heroics and Paddy down at the Cattery to kick the goal to basically seal the game right at the end. Having said that, we were in control for probably 90% of the game, or 95% of the game, and the Saints kicked 3 goals in 4 minutes when they kicked 6 for the entire 3.5 quarters outside of that. But it was it was just an annoying loss, I think, and just in terms of how the result panned out. We clearly didn't show up with the same intent that we did the week before, and that's not to say that we didn't try, but there's having real full-on intent, and there's having intent and keenness to play, and then there's really having intent. And energy was thrown up a lot, and intensity was thrown up a lot. I think Buck said the word energy about 1,000 times on the broadcast, but that's all right. It was definitely a game where energy was flowing, and it was mainly flowing in the red, white, and black side. So the Saints were far too good on that front, and we didn't have the same pressure and the same cleanliness that we had the week before against the Dockers. The Saints were, far too good for what we were trying to do. Any time I see 1 goal 4, and I was keeping up to date with the scores, I did get to see the game on replay as well, so did get visibility over what was going on. But any time we got 1 goal 4, it's usually not a good night. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure in the prelim we had 1 goal 4 at one stage when we had kicked 4 behinds in a row. It tends to spell, not a good result. But the Saints were really tough inside the contest. Their skills were great. We couldn't really apply pressure because of how well the Saints were going about it. So it was frustrating to watch, just for well knowing that it's not normally the way we play, and it always seems to be the Saints that manage to do what they like to do against us, and it's always the same blokes dominating every time we play them. It's Mitch Owens always plays like Wayne Carey, and I'm trying to think, Marshall always just has a monster game. I'm trying to think who else. Zach Jones plays his best games ever against us. It's the most random bloke that 99% of the time no one knows who he is. And trying to think, Cam Wilkie just always plays really well. Somehow nullifies Cameron every time. Wanganeen Miller, can't forget him. He was outstanding. So I don't normally give the opposition so much credit, but it's a bit hard not to with how the Saints went about it. just in their front half was really dangerous when they did move it forward. We just couldn't get our hands on the ball. I suppose is probably the real stone in the shoe. Simply couldn't win it out of the midfield, and once the Saints got to the outside, they got overlap run pretty well constantly. And we just weren't a match for them. And I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. We got out to 41-point deficit a couple of times in that second term, and then also in that third quarter. We did find a way to fight back and gave ourselves some chances to win. So, I think we kicked 3 or 4 behinds in a row late. So, as bad as the first half was, I mean, it was promising to see some of the young kids step up in that throughout the game, and more so in that second half when we started to get the game played on our terms. Clearly, it was played in large portions on the Saints' terms for 2.5 quarters, maybe even more. And then, ultimately we were able to, get some centre clearance goals. That there's no better way to get back into a game when you win it straight out of the middle. And it's amazing when you do win the ball, and if you move it down there quickly, how easy the game looks. So, and the game was just effortless for the Saints. They were able to, punish us on the scoreboard, and they were kicking very accurately as well. So, we've got 23 scoring shots to 26. We've got more scoring shots than the Saints, so it's not all, it's not all doom and gloom. We had 26 ourselves, but again, inaccurate kicking early on. So if we're, 3 goals 2 versus 1 goal 4, it's such a different story than what it is when you kick 1 goal 4. We had a chance, and we missed some easy ones. Stengel from 30 out, straight in front. Stewart got injured throughout the game, which just threw structure out. We had Dangerfield playing in the middle, which is not probably where we want him. At least not primarily where we want him. I think it's good to be able to lean on him in the midfield. When we need, some extra... Need something inspirational, or, just need a chop out for some of the other midfielders. And then Cameron playing half-back and back pocket and on the wing as well. I felt like at times when he did have the ball, Scotty said in the presser that, Cameron was playing up the field because we weren't getting it inside 50, but then it felt like we were getting inside 50 and there was just Shannon Neal and almost no one else to kick to. So not too sure on all that, but he might have been an extra, player alongside. You got no Smith, no Stewart, and Holmes getting tagged, so we had to rob Peter to pay Paul a little bit. And, if you're seeing Cameron on the wing at halfback, it's a bit of a red flag. If you've got Danger in the midfield early days, it's not ideal. So just, it didn't quite go our way. Smith out was, turned out to be pretty massive out, because then Holmes got the knock-on effect of not having... the tag, I suppose, over to Smith instead of him, and he probably hasn't had too much attention over the course of his career just yet. But I'm sure, clubs will go to work on that, and hopefully, Max gets better with handling that, and that's something all players that are looking really promising and playing as well as he is, that most players do have to tackle through that at some stage throughout their career. So, we had, skill execution errors, just couldn't quite, connect up forward as well as we would have liked. Ultimately, when we give the Saints as much ball as they did, and the thing you can control your own pressure, but you can't really control the pressure that the opposition gives you. That's 50-50 as well, because Freo we brought the pressure on massively against Freo, but then they kind of invited themselves to the pressure with the handball. But the Saints uncontested marks, we had to chop off, and they got far too many luxuries on that front. But they were almost too good with the ball that we weren't able to, turn the ball over as much. And they were just, deadly when they did go inside 50. And, it was just a frustrating result when, on paper, we're a far superior side. But that's the beauty of footy, right? Sometimes it's won and lost in the coach's box, and it was... essentially won and lost in there. Questionable, questions around the Cats' depth as well. But, when you have Bailey Smith out, you have Stewart out as well, you have Holmes basically, down and out under a tag. You got your three of your, arguably your best midfielders, sort of largely, not in a good position to be able to contribute. It makes things, makes life really difficult if your midfield's not getting on the ball. And then, there's some good signs from some younger players, which we'll get stuck into shortly. But outside of that, it was a tough night. And when your midfield's struggling and not going well, then the scoreboard's going to reflect that. And it's quite impressive to have only lost by 7 points, all considering that we're playing hands tied behind our back, almost playing left-handed. But it's interesting on the Saints front with the way that they approach it, and it does feel like, and it's obviously pretty biased, probably a biased call, but it just feels like they play their grand final against us every year. I don't see so they kept their pressure acts at around 2-11 or so throughout the whole game, which is you're good enough to do that for maybe a quarter and a half. They kept that throughout the majority of the game, if not the entire game. But I'm yet to see that application apply across 22, 23 other weeks. That it seems to be lacking. And when they play footy like this, you go, all right, well, they're clearly a better side than what most people think that they are. They clearly could play top 6, top 4 footy, but it's so inconsistent week on week, and it's frustrating from a side that's, if everything goes right, Geelong could be a top 4 side, versus basically what many pundits are thinking, bottom 4, bottom 6. I don't know where the Saints sort of sit and stand. And early season jitters can happen as well. Some weird results tend to happen early in the season, so that's when upsets are most likely to happen. And later in the season as well. It's pretty normal throughout the middle of the season. But it is quite bizarre how Ross just will not go to sleep unless he beats Chris Scott for the year. So it's bizarre how that does not apply across the entire season, and they pick and choose when they play good football. But anyway, you can't win them all. And I clearly don't like losing, as you can tell. But the Saints had much more of the footy, plus 68 more of the football than us across the board there. Inside 50s were pretty even across the game. Disposal efficiency from the Saints, a lot of positive forward ball movement. We definitely struggled under the pressure. And, if you apply 2-11 across any game of football at all, independent of the opposition, you're going to win most games, I think. Because all teams are susceptible to pressure, and we weren't. It was too hot in the kitchen, and didn't have enough contributors across the night. Didn't have enough contest wins to find a way to get over the line. But when it was inside our forward 50, and it didn't get there, a stack early in the game, clearly, it was relatively positive, slightly more efficient than the Saints. Free kick count relatively even, couple extra for the Cats. Interesting that we did win the hitouts. I think, Blitz had a good crack in the ruck as well to give DeConing a chop out. Clearance game though, +7 for the Saints, so they were well too good around the grounds there. Centre clearance though, we came out on top there and got a couple of goals from centre clearance. Interesting contested ball battle, 138 to 145, but when you look at uncontested ball, it was just so much of the ball was just hard fought, and I can't recall a tackling display quite like it. Every time Geelong got the ball, it was just 2 or 3 Saints coming in to tackle, just simply not letting the ball get out, and they played like their life depended on it. I feel like this is more of a Saints review than a Cats review, but I think this is one of those examples where the opposition were just so good on the night that you just have to dip your lid a bit, and they played a great brand of football. +70 on the outside, which killed us, and they got a lot of uncontested marks off the back of that. And as you can see there, 105 marks. More turnovers to the Saints, which surprises me considering the pressure that they did apply. And on the marks side of things, +24, they were able to control the ball much better than we were. We had to kick long down the line a fair bit. We didn't have that run and carry off half back that we would normally have, which is a big source of where our score comes from as well. That's no secret to the world. Marks inside 50, the Saints were too good there. 33% more marks inside 50, so they did it well there. Contested marks +8. I mean that's it's an interesting stat. Normally it means you're dominating the air, but it was everything was hard fought in this game. Saints led from start to finish for the whole match, which was it was a bit of pill to swallow. Not all, but all's not lost really. With more scoring shots on the Saints in the end, blazed away a little bit late, which wasn't really good to see. We were just trying to get some, I guess, pretty entries close to goal, and that didn't quite work out. Lacked a bit of composure late in the game, but when you're trying to win, you're just in fight or flight mode, largely in fight mode, hopefully. Fight or flight response on display. The Saints out tackled us as well, so their work rate was just absolutely insane. So we clearly weren't up for the fight there on that front, or not as much as the Saints were, more so. Because, as I said, they're trying and really trying. The Saints were really, really trying, and I think we were trying. But, it didn't quite happen the way we would have hoped for. Tackles inside 50, I think we had 25 the week before. So, look, in terms of trying to keep it in our front half, I think that was a positive out of the game. 19 to the Saints, they had a lot of pressure in their front half as well. And, the Saints like to flood back as well. So it makes, just absolute sardines when you play Ross the Boss. Would like to see the Saints play this type of footy against other sides rather than only show up for Geelong. But you don't get everything you want in life, understandably. And 1% is surprised that, the Cats had 46 to the Saints 32. The Saints, some of their smothers were absolutely incredible. We had a few too, to be fair. That was a bit of a look at it from a stats perspective, and I am forgetting how to click. But the votes were really tough in terms of because we just didn't play as the brand of footy that we know that we can play. I thought Humphries was potentially our best. He had the 22 disposals, 8 marks, 2 tackles as well. Almost 400 metres gained. He was in and under. He was in a lot of contests as well. Hopefully he wasn't playing on Higgins because he kicked 4. But I'm going to say that he might have been on Mullen, but I wasn't paying close attention to who exactly Higgins was on. More so concerned about how the ball got inside 50 with not as much pressure that we would usually deliver. All right, the 2-on-1 is tricky as well. I'm going to go 2 votes to Ted Closey. Closey. He kicked a couple of goals. I think it's his 3rd goal. 3 goals now for Ted. 6 marks, 4 tackles as well. Almost 400 metres gained. So, reason why I'm super impressed, he wasn't on the ground for too much of the game. A little bit over half with the Stewart injury. And I thought, he was a bit of a spark player. Got us back into the game. And, also kicked a couple of, really important goals to, not really stem the flow, but give us a fighting chance to get back into the game. And, was really impressed with sort of how he handled himself. And the 1 vote, the NAB Rising Star nom for the week. I'm not sure if he won it or if he was just nominated. But Connor O'Sullivan was really promising. He had the 15 disposals for the match. He had 7 marks, 3 tackles as well. I thought, he was rock solid down back. He had really clean hands. He was pretty good with the footy. I don't recall too many mistakes from him. So, I liked his effort throughout the game. And, really promising signs from an up-and-coming, we'll say fullbacks and a halfback. Key defender. So, he was... he played quite well. And shout-outs to Atkins and Holmes. We'll go into some more detail now on those guys. We'll just go through the list as we do. So Atkins had the 20, 11 tackles, 6 clearances. Gosh, he fights so damn hard. Probably worthy of a vote. But, does his role each and every week. Blitz kicked a goal, had the 16, 6 clearances, goal assists, one of his better games, I must say. Played a lot more game time than normal. Really good, sort of getting us back into the game when the Saints had Marshall off, unfortunately, for us. Stengel kicked a couple, 7 tackles, 5 marks. Missed one right in front, but yeah, he kept trying throughout the night. Nevitt's game was really good too. Give him his flowers there. He kicked a goal, had the 16 disposals, 7 tackles, got a few clearances as well. Set up a goal for the Cats. Zach Guthrie was good down back, 21, 5 marks, a couple of tackles, had his hands full with Jack Higgins at times. I don't think he was on him for the whole game. Hopefully not, because then I'd look at his game a bit differently. Holmesy was good. Well, all considering the tag, he was good in the second half. Finished off his work with a goal, 19 disposals, goal assist, to name it all there. But yeah, he's so regularly involved in the scoring chain. He was very close to getting a vote. I thought give some other guys, and I mean Win Hager played an amazing game from his standpoint. So I didn't really think Holmes unfortunately not in my votes this week. Mentioned O'Sullivan. Henry was an absolute rock down back. So he played well with his 15 disposals. Also took 10 marks, and especially as the game lifted in that second half, he was really good for us. Grime was very quiet early. Then worked his way into the game, especially in that second half. 20 disposals, 5 marks, but didn't quite get his goal assist ticking over this week. They put a lot of work into him and were able to nullify his influence. SDK, 16 disposals, 4 marks, 3 clearances, 21 hitouts. Yeah, it was all right, but Marshall was just monstered him, unfortunately. So it's a tough game to sort of read. Really good last week. Had his colours lowered against Marshall. O'Connor, 16 for the game, 5 marks, 3 tackles. Set up a couple of goals, which was really good. His disposal can be a bit left wanting at times. Did set up a couple of goals though, which especially when we were struggling early, helpful indeed. Jai Clark had a good crack, getting more kicks and handballs, which we like to see. A couple of clearances as well, but as you can see, and it's not Jai Clark's fault, but just the lack of clearance capability. Like no one. Oh, I've gone to the wrong stat there. No one more than 6, and I'm sure the Saints definitely got plenty of flowers there. Cameron down the wrong side of the stat sheet, unfortunately, but he tried hard. Don't think he was fully 100%, just with how it was all looking. Ended up with a goal, 16 disposals, took a couple of marks, but just didn't get the game played the way he would have liked from his 90% game time. Scratch was good. He set up a goal, also kicked 2 himself. 5 tackles. I won't say they're all inside 50, but you contend that would be likely where they would be. 3 marks as well, dropped a couple, but always competes for the contest. Dempsey kicked a couple, worked really hard up and down the wing, 12 disposals as well. He was good for us. Paddy tried his heart out, knows how to get a clearance, I'll tell you. 1 in every 3 disposals was a clearance. Set up a goal as well. Missed a really simple shot at the end, which was quite critical. But you can't have it all. Ollie Henry I felt like he was lively early, missed a couple of shots, set up a goal, 9 disposals. That's about right for Ollie Henry. He gets a few shots a game and he gets just shy of 10 possessions most weeks. Bose felt like he got involved early, but you just, you end up with 10 disposals and goals. He just seems to float out of games for long periods, and he's clearly on the ground. I don't think he was tagging anyone. If he was, let me know in the comments. But for one of your prime, you would like to think at his best he's a prime midfielder. Getting 10 disposals just isn't going to quite cut it. So it's a low number, which just sometimes happens when he's not quite at his absolute best. But everyone struggled. Everyone struggled, and when it's not going well in the midfield, your half forwards suffer. Makes life difficult for the back line. Close, very quiet. Just the 7 touches, and again, off the back of close and Myers, they need the midfield going well. That helps set them up. He kicked a goal, 4 tackles though, so applied a bit of pressure in that front half to keep it in there, which was good. Mullen, no kicks, 7 handballs, and but did set up a goal. I'm hoping he wasn't on Higgins because Higgins played a great game. Stewart had a couple of kicks and then he was off. So yeah, he had a knee injury, cleared of any major concerns there. So that is positive for Cats fans, not positive for other fans. But yeah, he couldn't quite get his hands on the ball early, but then yeah, he went off and subbed out of the game once he was declared no good to go. All right. Let's have a bit of a look at next week. And I've gone one round too far. We've got the Lions at the Gabba. Gee, if it was opening round, I'd be feeling better. But yeah, I reckon the Lions have had a bit of time to dust the cobwebs off. And at home, they're going to be pretty tough to beat. I think, yeah, that the Lions will be too good to get the job done. Don't know what it looks like for Bailey Smith playing. Don't know what it looks like if Stewart's going to play. I'd be shocked if he did, but who knows what will happen there. We'll wait and see. But yeah, they pipped us late last year, and in the preliminary final, I think it'll be a pretty close battle, tough battle. Hopefully, we can give it everything we've got. And sometimes you lose unexpected games, sometimes you win some unexpected games, and we got the win against them at the Gabba last year. It was pretty trying conditions, has to be said. Something about Geelong and Brisbane playing just equals very odd conditions. I still remember when it was in 2012 when it was absolutely bucketed down, and I think Hall kicked 6 in the wet. So yeah, we've had some very intriguing conditions over time against the Lions. All right. Well, there you go. That is all. Yeah, that's all she wrote, really. It was the Saints by 7 points. They were far too classy, far too strong. We'll wait and see how consistent it is. If odds on Richmond are going to beat them this week, and they played their grand final against us, and we'll see how they can handle the Tigers, a team they're expected to beat versus a team that they're not expecting to defeat. In the Cats, who they've had some really good history, especially over the last couple of years. The bogey team of late for the Cats. All right, so that's all from me, guys. Chuck down your thoughts on the game and how you think we'll go against the Lions next week. Give the video a like and subscribe away. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next video.